In the meantime, I'm proud to be doing this. I was just talking to guys off the air. Last year, I emceed it for the first time. I was a king for the first time last year on Mardi Gras for homeless children, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell. And I do a lot of events every year, and this by far, and not to insinuate other ones are bad at all. No, the other ones are good. This one is just so far, light years beyond anything you've ever gone as far as a charity event goes. It's ridiculous. If you have not been to Mardi Gras in years past, go to Mardi Gras 2015 for homeless children. Fat Tuesday, February 17th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center, and it is an amazing event. Gordy Snyder is here, and Gordy's our buddy who does a great job every year. And I see that you nod in agreement going, yes, it is the best event in the history of Cincinnati.
Yes, it is, Scott. And once again, thank you for being our king for the second year in a row.
Well, it's the easiest job in the world. I wear beads, I get the cap and gown, and I ride on the float that's pushed by shirtless men, and then I throw beads to the women below. What's wrong with that? That's the easiest job in the world, right there. You have the hard work putting this thing together.
I know, because I'm trying to steer you through the crowd and make sure you don't run over anybody.
Gordy, Susan Schiller's here from Bethany House, which is one of the charities that benefit. What do you guys do at Bethany House?
At Bethany House, we provide shelter for homeless families. In addition to shelter, the warm bed and food every day. We also have case management for all of our mothers, counseling, referrals to the various community resources. Right. So the whole goal is to get them off the street and find permanent housing for them.
How much money has been raised for Mardi Gras for homeless children, like last year, for example? You know, top of your head?
About $100,000 is raised every year from this event, and that money is split between the various agencies. It's Bethany House, Welcome House, and Brighton Center's Homeward Bound program. Yeah,
and Dan Bell is here from Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell, and that beautiful building you got right off I-75. So
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, it's a beautiful store. And you guys have been involved in this for a long time, right?
Yeah, last year was our first year. And,
I thought you went way back on this.
Last year was our first year.
I guess it was my first year too. So way back for me would be with you guys. So last year, right?
Yeah, we're looking forward to this year as well, and next year.
Next year, this year. And it's really cool to see. Obviously, you have you're dealing with the luxury car sector, Dan, and you've got clients and means and this. But I think it says a lot about companies that give back to the tri-state, especially yourselves. You see homeless children, and it's such a great event and a great charity when you see that the money's raised to go to help kids right here in the area.
Yeah, well, it's so obvious that there's so many great companies that step forward and help the charities here in this community, and we have thoroughly enjoyed being involved in Mardi Gras, and it's the right thing to do. These are about kids, and it's just a wonderful,
well, it's good to be associated with such a wonderful event. My wife and I had a great time last year, and I know it's a school night, but it doesn't go too late. It feels like it does because the food is. How many different food vendors and we'll start with that. Food. Sure. How many have
well, we have over
so
50 different venues there serving various types of food, along with adult beverages as well. 30 different restaurants that participate. Things from this year, we've got butternut squash lasagna to pork sliders to derby pie, Kentucky bourbon bread pudding, chicken and andouille sausage, gumbo. We've got a wonderful variety of type New Orleans type fare, along with adult beverages.
Plus, an hour people are serving steak, and you go around their little ramekins, but you can go back as many times as you want, and literally you go to all the food stands and had a bite at each one. You couldn't finish all that. It's crazy how, and the quality too. I think that's the thing, right, Gordy? Is the quality of the food in the restaurants. They are the best of the best in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area.
Well, the restaurants donate their food for this cause, and they really try to put their best foot forward as far as serving some of their special items.
Well, then, of course, for every little 3 things of food you get, you wind up having 4 or 5 cocktails or something along the way, and so, Maker's Mark was out there, and then I saw Beer Dave, they had all different beers and stuff like that, and there's one, I want to say, were they from Atlanta, or somebody came all the way up from down south, too, didn't they?
Yep.
Last year, so it's mainly in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, but it is amazing the quality of the food and drink that's at the convention.
We'll probably have 20 different varieties of beers there, and probably almost that many in different types of wine as well.
Right, and you have a great time. So get there early and get there often. All right, so tickets, how do I get them?
Well, tickets you can do through a number of venues. You can go to Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell. obviously, and buy your tickets there. You can also call 859-291-NKRA, or you can go to 700WLW.com.
Yeah, and it's all there. So I am the king this year again, which I'm surprised, quite honestly, after the mishaps last year that I caused. I was invited back, but that's awfully kind of you guys. And we have a new queen this year.
Sheila Gray is your new queen
That's
this year.
That's my girl right there.
That's
Sheila and I are people. You know that, right? So it's going to get crazy.
And once again, Joe Zerusen is back as our Master of Ceremonies.
Mr. Voice.
And this year's Grand Marshal, Giovanni Bernard.
Which is amazing, right? I mean, an active Bengals player. Last year we had the Hall of Famer, Anthony Munoz, and this year Gio Bernard will be up there with us as well. So we'll be on this, and it's really cool. They have this giant, it's scaffolding, actually. I don't want to blow it for anybody. And it's all decorated up, and then these guys push us through the crowd, and we fire beads down at the paupers.
And you're led by the high school band from out in Beechwood?
Yeah, Beechwood High School Marching Band, and Robin Lacey and Zydeco are there, and they always do good New Orleans-style music as well, and the food and the drink.
Live and silent auction all night long.
Which really, I mean, the items on that thing are phenomenal as well. It's the 24th annual culinary celebration, Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell, Mardi Gras for homeless children on Fat Tuesday, February 17th, 6:30 to 10 at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center, right there.
And if you want to get in early for a little bit more, $80, you can get an early admission and come in and mingle with Scott Sloan.
More importantly, I get access to the food and drink ahead of time. Don't forget about me. Let's worry about extra drinking time here on a Tuesday, shall we? Absolutely. So what time does a VIP start?
5:30.
Okay, that's what you want to do. Drop the I'm telling you, as an expert, drop the $80. Just make it a whole night thing and stay over there at the Embassy Suites and everything's a good night, right?
And we also have corporate sponsorships available as well.
Okay. Outstanding. So, guys, thanks again for coming in. Gordy, Susan, Dan, Don, how are we? Were everybody good? Sound down over there.
That's great.
You brought a driver this morning. Mercedes of Fort Mitchell is representing here. Thanks again, and we'll see you Fat Tuesday.
Sounds good.